Hi, I'm Nick from SquareKicker. In this tutorial, we're going to explore how to use SquareKicker on your clients' websites. We'll see how easy it is to manage your client projects with flexible options for site ownership, edits, and pricing. The extension is designed to speed up your workflow, not slow it down with clunky handoffs. So in this video, we'll cover who has access to the tools and how, pricing plans to suit your design cadence, handing off a finished project and what to do with SquareKicker, and finally, transferring a site to your client once you're finished. So let's say you want to design a Squarespace website for your next client. And to do that, you want to use the SquareKicker tools. You can fine-tune every detail and add dramatic animations to wow your client, but what happens once the website is finished? With SquareKicker, you have a number of options for handoff. You can decide who has access to the tools and who manages the subscription, and what sort of subscription you have and when does it end. Anyone who has admin or owner Squarespace permissions can use the SquareKicker tools, but other permission types such as website editor cannot use SquareKicker. This is because SquareKicker uses the code injection area, which is restricted to the Squarespace admins and the owner of the site. For more information, follow the link in the description below after watching this tutorial. So what does this mean? Well, you need admin permissions to install and use the SquareKicker tools. On all other permission types, SquareKicker tools would be unavailable. However, any customizations made with the tools will be visible to everyone. If your client can't see the SquareKicker icons in the usual places, it's likely because they don't have the right Squarespace permissions. SquareKicker has a range of pricing plans to choose from. You can choose a solo plan for working on just one site. You can have multiple subscriptions in your account, but if you have several sites planned, the most cost-effective option is a professional plan. The designer and agency subscriptions allow for a set number of active sites and an unlimited number of inactive sites. This provides a lot of flexibility for working with your clients. Once you finish building your site, you can cancel your subscription, or if you're on a professional plan, simply set the status of the website to inactive. The advantage of this is that if you want to pick the site back up again for a few more tweaks, you don't have to pay for an entire month. It's already part of your subscription. We often get asked, what happens when you're all done with the website build? The different pricing plans provide different options. No matter which approach you choose, the design changes still stay saved on the site, and your client doesn't have to pay for an ongoing subscription. In practice, what this means is that if you have an expired or canceled subscription, or the site is inactive, the tools will be disabled. You won't be able to open up the UI to create further customizations, but any existing designs will still appear on the site. You or your client will still see the SK icons in the site editor as you're used to, but they won't function. You'll get a message instead reminding you that you need to have an active subscription to use the tools. This makes it so simple to add a few extra customizations or edits, or refresh the site at a later date when you're ready to come back to the tools. Your designs will always remain active on the website unless you uninstall SquareKicker, so it's best not to do that. But if you have another site you want to build and you already have an existing solo plan, you can add a new website and start another solo subscription and connect your new site to this plan. If you're on a designer or agency plan, you can simply add a new website with no additional cost. Toggle your previous site statuses to inactive if you're all finished, to make room for your new sites. If any of your plans expire, it's easy to reactivate and get full access to the tools again. If you're using one or more solo plans and you want the simplicity of saving and managing everything in one place, you can upgrade any of your plans to a designer plan. Then transfer all your websites across. This lets you manage all your sites from a single subscription. Some designers prefer to hand off the website entirely to the client once they're finished. This means that the client will take over all the SquareKicker ownership, and they can choose whether to have an active subscription or not. It's easy to do this with SquareKicker, and all it takes is a few clicks in the dashboard. You can either start the transfer process yourself simply by inputting the client's email address, or they can request ownership. It's pretty straightforward, but if you want to watch the entire process, we've made a tutorial just for you that steps you through the entire process and makes handoffs as easy as possible for you and your client. The most importantly, all of your SquareKicker customizations will stay active on the site during this process. I hope this video has answered your questions around building and delivering websites with SquareKicker. We kept the process pretty simple and yet flexible for all different types of clients and business models, so you can get on with designing stunning websites to wow your clients and their audience and hand them off with confidence. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see what you create with SquareKicker.